Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. Param Purusham Upaiti. Paramam Purusham. Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. It says 8:10 of Bhagavad Gita. So we see the first question asked by Ashvalayana Maharshi to Brahma in Kaivalya Upanishad is how to attain that Paratpara Purusha. Paratparam Purusham Yati Vidban. How to get to know about that supreme reality. Purusho vai Rudraha, Sarvo vai Rudraha, Paratparam, and who is the greatest of the greatest supreme realities. And then will attain. So that talks about again Mahadeva. And then 8:22. Purushaha saparah partha bhaktya labhyas tvananyaya yasyantak sthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. Purushaha saparah. That Veda Purusha alone is the supreme of all, greater than the greatest. And Purusho vai Rudraha. That's what the Vedas say, Upanishads say. Purusho vai Rudraha, Sarvo vai Rudraha. Paratpara Purusha. Paratparam. So he is greater than the greatest. And Bhaktya Labhyas Tvananyaya. Engage in unflinching devotion to that supreme reality. That's what here it comes. Krishna says. So Bhakti, we see Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Davaihi. Kaivalya Upanishad talks about Bhakti. Devotional service. Engage in devotional service to Lord Shiva. Meditate on the form of Lord Shiva. His form alone is divine and spiritual and beyond the three modes of material nature. It is not touched by any sattva, rajas, tamas. It is shuddha sattva. Yash shuddha sattva de brahma loke to parantakale paramritat parimuchyanti sarve dakram dvipapam parame eshvabhutam yat pundarikam puramadhya saggam stam. It says. So he is Shuddha Sattva, he is beyond the three modes. He is Sattva, he is not bound by Sattva or Rajas or Tamas. He is Shuddha Sattva. He is beyond the three modes of material nature. And Mahadeva alone is described as Shuddha Sattva. Kaivalya Upanishad, Mahanarayana Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad. Kaivalya Upanishad talks of Atyashramam and Mundaka Upanishad talks about Shirovratam. All these are synonymous. We have seen that Pashupatam, Shirovratam, Shambhavam, Atyashramam all mean one and the same. To apply ashes all over one's body, to apply the Tripundra on the forehead, to wear the Rudraksha Mala, to hear Shiva Katha with full joy, and then to meditate on Mata Parashakti and Paramashiva within the heart, to chant the names of Lord Shiva. This is what this means. And Atyashramam, Pashupatam, Shambhavam, Shirovratam comes in the Upanishads. 4 authorized names that are used, which connect only with Shaivism, worshipping Lord Shiva. So Shaivism alone is completely Vedoktam and Vaidikam. And all other paths lead you to Shaivism in course of time. Shaktam, Vaishnavam, Kaumaram, Ganapatyam, Sauram lead you to Shaivism in course of time. All these paths are given by Lord Shiva only at the end of the day. And then he is present. Yasyantak sthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. He is all pervading. Sarvo vai rudraha. Sarvo vai rudrastasmai rudraya namo asto purusho vai rudrasanmaho namo namaha vishvam bhutam bhuvanam chitram bahuda jatam jayamanam chayat. Upanishad says Sarvaha. He is all pervading. Sarvo vai rudraha. Sarvo hyesha rudraha. 3 times it comes in the Mahanarayana Upanishad itself. So he is that all-pervasive personality. And with this only Purusha Suktam says, Purusha e Vedagam Sarvam. The Veda Purusha is present as everything. Veda Purusha is present as everything. Purusha is a word that is used for addressing the supreme reality. And sometimes it refers to the Jivas also. So, but it's usually referring to the Purusha Suktam that comes in the Rig Vedam 10th canto 90th chapter. It talks about the supreme reality. So, Purusha e Vedagam Sarvam. So, who is that Veda Purusha and who is Sarva is told separately in the Mahanarayana Upanishad as Purusho vai Rudraha, Sarvo vai Rudraha. So, that personality is present as everything and also Sarvamidam Tatam. That's what here 8:22 of Bhagavad Gita says. He is present as all, he is all pervasive. And also he is present in the heart of all the living entities, and also he is present beyond the universe in Parakailasha, the highest world. Maha Kailasha Nilaya. Lalita Sahasranamam 578th name says, she is eternally present in Maha Kailasha or Parakailasha with that divine Samba Shiva Mahadeva sitting in the left lap, that Maheshwari sits in the left lap of Maheshwara, who is five-faced and ten-handed, eternally being served by crores and crores of Mukta Jivas. And then 10.3 of Bhagavad Gita, Yomam ajam anadim cha vetti loka maheshwaram asamudak samartyeshu sarva papaihi pramuchyate. Here also says Maheshwaram, Yomam. So again, Mam, as I said before, Antaratma. It refers to the Antaratma actually, because Narayana himself says that my form is material or illusory. I myself am meditating on the divine form of Maheshwara, which is eternal. And he describes that form to be the form of Bhagavad Gita, Uttarakandam, 175th chapter of Padma Purana. And also Param hi Brahma Katitam Yoga Yuktena Tanmaya. I was united with the Supreme Reality when giving the discourse on Bhagavad Gita, 14th canto, 16th chapter in Mahabharatam. So Yomam, so where Aham or Mam comes, as I have said before, it refers to the Antaratma, that is Lord Shiva. It is actually Lord Shiva is speaking Bhagavad Gita. It is just Krishna is an instrument, as I said before. So Mam, Ajam. So Ajam means unborn. Ajayamano bahuda vijayate. Purusha Suktam. Aja means unborn, one who doesn't take any incarnations, one who is unborn, one who doesn't have birth. With this, the Padma Purana, Patala Kanda, 108th chapter, 70th verse says, Chatur Nishvasa Matrena Vishnor Ayur Udahritam. The Vishnu also has Ayu, the age. He is also bound by age. And his entire lifespan, Narayana's entire lifespan, is actually the 4 inhalings of Maheshwara. He comes there. Matsya Puranam, Narada Maharshi, 154th chapter, 180th verse, Narada Maharshi says to Himavan, Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Munayor, Janma, Mrityu Jaraditaha. Your divine daughter, O Himavan, Parvati, is going to get married to that birthless, ageless Mahadeva. Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Munayor, and everybody, including Brahma, Vishnu, and Indra, are bound by birth, old age, disease, and death. And they are under the control of the divine Samba Shiva, he says. And then, Naham Janamika Shrutihi, Krishna says to Radha, 36th chapter of the Krishna. I don't remember exactly the chapter number. I'll check it out. I think it's in the Krishna Janma Kandam, 36th chapter, 101st verse, if I'm not wrong. So, but it comes definitely. Naham Janami Ka Shrutihi. Naham Janami. I am not aware of his age. Ka Shrutihi. Even the Vedas cannot understand the age of Lord Shiva because he is ageless. He is not bound by age. He is ageless. And one thing to be noted, guys, because there are some new people, I should also, I want to also say this. The Rudra that comes from the forehead of Brahma or Narayana is not actually Lord Shiva. Rudra and Parameshwar are beautifully distinguished. And I have also given a video quoting all the references where actually Brahma is created from the right limb, right hand of Lord Shiva. Narayana is created from the left hand of Lord Shiva. And then Rudra is created from the heart of Lord Shiva. So Kala Rudra appears for destroying the universe. But Lord Shiva is beyond Brahma, Narayana and Rudra. So Rudra who comes from the forehead of Brahma is not actually Lord Shiva, who is the creator of Brahma, Narayana and Rudra. That should be understood. Some people argue, okay, fine, Shiva comes from the forehead of Brahma, right? Or Shiva comes from the forehead of Narayana. So that is also by the wish of Lord Shiva only. Because Brahma intensely prays to Lord Shiva that, I am not able to create. And then Mahadeva says that my partial Amsha, Rudra, will appear from your forehead and he will assist you and Narayana in creation and maintenance. So that itself also proves, and also the Vedas also distinguish. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudrendraste samprasuyante. Atharvashika itself says Shiva is beyond Brahma, Narayana, Kala, Rudra and Indra. So Mahadeva is birthless. Mata, when she appeared in, Himavan's place, Lord Shiva, as it is, comes and gets married to Parvati Mata. He doesn't take birth. But Mata's birth is divine. Again, it's not like Rama or Krishna's birth, who are actually, and we'll be touching upon that now. So Ajam means he is birthless, beginningless, Anadim. Anadhyantamadyam param tattvamartham. He appeared as an Agni Stambha to crush the ego of Brahma and Narayana. Anadi also comes in the Tam Adi Madhya Anta Vihinamekam Vibhum Chidananda Rupam Arupam Adbhutam. It comes in the Kaivalya Upanishad. So Anadi, he is beginningless. And Veti Loka Maheshwaram, who is the supreme lord of all the worlds, including Vaikuntham, Golokam, Brahmalokam, Indralokam, Skandalokam, etc. And then Asamodak Samartyeshu, one who is not, undeluded among men, who is not a Muda actually. The one who is, the Tamasika Muda has always tried to denigrate Lord Shiva. So Asamodaha, one who is not deluded, one who is not a fool, and those people alone will be freed from all the sins. Sarva papaihi pramuchyate. So this connects with a very beautiful verse. Mahadeva alone is the remover of all the sins. We saw Mahadeva is unborn. Mahadeva alone removes all the sins. Sarva papaihi pramuchyate, 10.3 of Bhagavad Gita. So with this, in the Valmiki Ramayanam, Rama says to Lakshmana, Aranyakandam 63rd chapter 4th verse, Purvam maya nunam abhipsitani papani karmani asat kritani tatra ayam adya patito vipako dukkena dukkam yadaham vishami. Oh Lakshmana, I have done various, sins. He himself accepts that in my previous births, he accepts that he has, previous births, and I have done various sins in my previous births. And that's why, on account of the result of those, misdeeds, I am suffering now by losing my dear Sita, O Lakshmana. Because he lost Sita. Ravana comes in the form of a sage and then takes away Sita. So there he says to Lakshmana, I am bound by sins, and also I've taken, in my previous births I have done various sins, and because of which I'm getting in result. Because every action has an equal and opposite reaction, Newton's third law. That's how the karma works. And then Priyangadam, Padma Purana, Uttarakanda, 6th chapter, 15th verse, Padma Purana, Uttarakandam, 15th chapter, 42nd verse. Priyangadam samalingya chuchumbara tilolupa mokshadapyadi saukyam tu vrinda mohana sambhavam. When Narayana, he comes and then looks at Vrinda, he is completely attracted to the bodily beauty of Vrinda and then unites with her. In the form of Jalandhara he comes. Jalandhara is the husband of Tulasi. And then he comes in the form of Jalandhara, and then looking at Tulasi, he is more attracted to her, and then he forgets Lakshmi. Mokshadapyadi saukyam tu. It clearly says it. He forgets Lakshmi and then he unites with Vrinda. And then on account of that, Vrinda curses Vishnu. This is there in Padma Purana. So that, just like you came in the form of a sage, because initially Vishnu will come in the form of a sage and then will try to divert the mind of Vrinda. So just like you did that, a sage will come, a demon will come in the form of a sage and then will take away your wife. And that's the connection here. And Narada Maharshi also curses Vishnu. That comes in the Rudra Samhita of Shiva Mahapurana. The first few chapters talks about it. So here the point is that whereas Mahadeva is described as Yate Rudra Shiva Tanu Raghora Apapakashini, who is beyond sins and virtues, who is beyond actually, who is not touched by karma. And that's why the Kaivalya Upanishad also ends by saying, Na punya pape mama nasti nashona janma dehendriya buddhirasti. Na punya pape. By reading that Upanishad and also by engaging in Shiva Bhakti and surrendering to a Guru and engaging in Shiva Bhakti, you go beyond virtues and sins. You go beyond virtues, because that is what is moksha. Beyond, getting rid of the entire karma activity. Right? Punya papam is actually karma. Some people go behind punya, but you have to go beyond punya papa. Na punya pape, Kaivalya Upanishad. So, and then he is described as sinless. He is not touched by sins, or he is beyond sins and virtues. And that's what here it says. Maheshwara yomam ajam anadim cha veti loka maheshwaram asa mudak samartyeshu Sarva papaihi pramuchyate. Only the undeluded people will be freed from all sins, one who consider Lord Shiva as the unborn, beginningless, and the supreme Lord of all the worlds. Maheshwaram also comes here. We saw that. And then 11:18 of Bhagavad Gita. So I'll be closing a little bit early today, like already 48 minutes, I think. And then we'll be seeing again tomorrow some interesting verses. So Bhagavad Gita 11:18, Tvam aksharam paramam veditavyam tvamasya vishwasya param nidanam tvam avyayak shashvata dharma gopta sanatanas tvam purusho mato me. You are the supreme, ultimate, object of meditation, object of desire. And then the object of surrender. And you are the ultimate resting place of the entire universe. Everything rests, everything as when everything is destroyed, when the universe, Brahma, Narayana, Rudra and Indra are destroyed, everything rests under Maheshwara. Everything rests in the body of Maheshwara, Samba Shiva. And then he does the creation again. And then you are the oldest. Shashvatam, you are eternal. Shashvatam also 25th name that comes in the Shiva Sahasranamam. He is eternal. This word eternal can also be applied sometimes to the Devatas like Indra, Brahma and Vishnu. But, comparatively if you see, Indra is in the Swargalokam. Now the time factor plays a major role here. It is described that in the Bhumandala, like 365 days in the Bhumandala is just, I think, 1 day or 12 hours in the Swargaloka. And then the Indra is actually the Swargaloka Adipati. Brahma's lifespan is like 311 trillion human years. Actually, 311 trillion human years. Because there is 100 years of Brahma. 311 trillion human years. And Indra, 14 Indras come and go during just 1 day of Brahma. So we can just imagine. If we think Indra is superior, beyond Indra is like Brahma. In 1 day of Brahma, 14 Indras come and go. Like Indra keeps changing like anything in just the one lifespan of Brahma. And that Brahma himself keeps changing for every 4 inhalings of Vishnu. For every 4 inhalings of Narayana, one Brahma comes and goes. 100 years of Brahma comes and goes. And then that Narayana, Chatur Nishvasa Matrena Vishnor Ayurudakritam. The 4 inhalings of Maheshwara is actually that entire lifespan of Narayana. So that Maheshwara alone is beyond, and he is not bound by age. He is Purvam to everybody. Age factor is not there. He is not bound by Kala. That's why he is called as Kala Kala, Kanta Kala, Mahakala, who is, the Lord of Kala, who has control, who has Kala Deva in control. I was recently reading, I sent it to Denard also. It was quite interesting. The Kanchi Mahapariva, whatever he has said, he is belonging to an Advaita philosophy. But still it was quite interesting that his sayings, because whatever that is disturbing, everybody is actually Kama and Kala. Now Kama is actually the desire. It can be taken as normal desire or sexual desire, lust basically. And then Kala is actually the time factor. It's because of these two that we fail to attain liberation, we fail to know Mahadeva. And who has controlled these two? Mahadeva. Kameshwara, Kaleshwara. He kicked Yama with his left foot to save his dear devotee Markandeya. Also Shweta Maharshi is another person who is described in the Puranas. Linga Purana says that Shweta Maharshi was saved, by Lord Shiva. He started chanting the Trembakam Yajamahe Mantram, the Mrityunjaya Mantram. He was continuously chanting Shweta Maharshi. And then Yama will try to, take him away. But Mahadeva comes along with the Shiva Ganas to save Shweta Maharshi. So he is Kaleshwara, Mahakala. Kala is under his control, Mahadeva's control. Likewise, Kama, he tried to disturb, he tried to induce Kama, lust in the mind of Mahadeva. Who can induce lust in the mind of Mahadeva? So, and then he burnt Kamadeva into ashes. Kameshwara, Kaleshwara. So, we have to surrender to that personality who has Kama and Kala under his control and all the Devatas under his control, who destroyed the ego of all the Devas, including Brahma and Vishnu. Matsyakurma Varahamscha Narasimha Trivikramo Hatva Netre cha Meenasya Kamatasyasti Karkasham Varahasya cha Damshtra cha Nrisimhasya Tvacham Tata Trivikramasya Prishtasi Grihitvaiva Puravayam. He destroyed the Ahankara of Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha and Vamana. 41st and the 42nd verse of the Veera Mahindra Kandam Shankara Samhita says that. Second chapter, by the way. And that's why he is described as the maintainer, and also he is the oldest, the supreme of the supreme. So the eternal word sometimes is applied to Indra, Brahma and Vishnu. No, but that is just for namesake. Ultimately, the only eternal personality is Mahadeva. Because everyone admits that. No, it's Indra seems to be eternal, but if you go to Indra, he himself, like 14 Indras, keep changing. In one day of Brahma. One day of Brahma, we can just imagine. Not 1 year, 1 day. And one Brahma has 100 years. That 100 years of Brahma is equal to 311 trillion human years. And that Brahma also keeps changing. Now, when we see the lifespan of Brahma, 311 trillion, we say, wow, he'll open our mouth like anything. And that Brahma himself is like, 4 inhalings of Vishnu is the entire lifespan of Brahma. And that Vishnu also comes and goes. With that only, Upper says, Tirunavakarasar Upper says, 100 கோடி பிரம்மர்கள் நூந்தினார் 6 கோடி நாராயணர் அங்கனே 7 கங்கை மணல் எண்ணில் இந்திரர் ஈரில்லாதவன் ஈசன் ஒருவனே. He says that 100 crore Brahmas come and go. 6 crore Narayanas or Ramas or Krishnas come and go. And then the amount, the particles of the sand that is present in the near the Ganga river, can anybody count it? No one can count it. How many particles of sand? That much amount of Indras come and go. Irilladhavan Isan Uruvane. He is the only, Mahadeva is the only personality who is not bound by age. Which is also accepted by Vishnu and Krishna also. Brahma also says that. So he is the only eternal personality. So understanding him is the ultimate religion. And Sanatanastvam and Purushomatome. That's what is told in the 11:18 of Bhagavad Gita. And then, so 11:38 also says, Tvam Adidevaha Purushaha Puranastvam. So we see that the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it's actually Lord Shiva showing the Vishwarupa. There are some objections raised by some people. I'll be answering those objections tomorrow. So please, join tomorrow also. So in this 11th chapter itself, there are beautiful, some of the interesting things to be known. So Tvam Adidevaha, you are that Adideva. Mahadeva is that supreme Adideva, the first cause of everything, So Vyasa also says in the last chapter of Drona Parvam to Arjuna, you have seen none other than Shankara when he comes to favor. When Mahadeva himself comes to favor Krishna and Arjuna in the war, so Vyasa enlightens Arjuna by saying, you have seen none other than Mahadeva Shankara, Purushaha, Purushovai Rudraha. Puranastvam, you are the oldest. Vishwasya Param Nidanam, you are the ultimate support of everything. That's what it says. And then Vishwam Ananta Rupam. Achintyam Avyaktam Ananta Rupam, this comes. He has various forms, Purna Amshas, like Ardhanarishvara, Nataraja, Tyagaraja, etc. The various forms he has. So that is one thing. And then moving on to 13:23 of Bhagavad Gita. Here also this word Maheshwaraha comes. Upadrashtanu mantacha bhartha bhokta Maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmin purushah paraha. The supreme soul is actually the highest of all, and it is present in all the living entities as the ultimate witness. So Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha, who is the proprietor of everything, we saw that he is the owner of all the sacrifices, Avo Rajana Madvarasya, and he is the Antaryami of the entire Veda, the Panchakshara Mantram that comes in the center of the Veda. So he is the Antaratma of the Vedas, he is the Lord of the Vedas, he is the Lord of Yajnas, he is the Lord of the universe. So that personality is present in all the Bharta Bhakta Maheshwaraha. So that Maheshwara is present in the heart of all the living entities. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram 1328 Bhagavad Gita. Vinashyatsva vinashyantam yak pashyati sa pashyati. And then it says, it just talks about how one should, at the end of the day, respect. At the end of the day, within everybody, within every soul, within every individual soul, there is the super soul that is present. Tishtantam Parameshwaram. The supreme soul is present in the antaratma of all the living entities, even within a cat and dog and reptile. Even within the devas like Brahma and Vishnu, and even within all the living individual souls. Regardless of any, even within a handicapped person or a rich person, anybody. So the Samabhavanam should be there. Everybody, Mahadeva is present as the Antaratma within every individual soul. Samabhavanam should be there, and compassion should be there for all the living entities. Parameshwaram word comes, that Parameshwaram comes in the Kaivalya Upanishad. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum. And then 2 more verses, like Bhagavad Gita 15:16. Dvavimau purushau loke ksharaschakshara evacha ksharak sarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchyate. So it talks about like 2 class of beings. So in the material world, and also like it talks about like ksharaha, aksharaha, the fallible and the infallible, the 2 classes of beings. And also, and then goes on to say, Uttama Purushastvanyaha Paramatmet Yudahritaha Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Bibarti Avyaya Ishwaraha. So there is another personality who is Ishwara, who is present as the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord, Avyayam, Achintyam Avyaktam Anantarupam. Avyaya means imperishable, Vyaya means perishable. From the blade of a grass till Vishnu, everything is perishable, but Avyaya means imperishable. So that imperishable Lord, Supreme Lord, Ishvara, who has entered the 3 worlds. There is also a place in the Rig Vedam that says 674, if I am not wrong, 6th canto 74th chapter, where actually Lord Shiva is described as entering all the Jivatmas and residing in the heart of all the Jivatmas. In Angushtamatra Rupam, Linga Rupam. And also within that Linga, Parameshwara is present with a beautiful form, divine form. So that is also, that is brought out by Nagalinga Garu in his book very beautifully. So where, we are active, we are able to engage in something, because without Mahadeva in the heart, we are just corpse at the end of the day. So he makes us engage in activities, and we have that minute independence. And how we are utilizing that independence, that is what is the interesting thing. We can utilize that independence for entertainment and enjoyment and various other things. But that independence can also be utilized in engaging in service to Maheshwara and understanding who is that supreme reality. Because the human birth is very, very difficult to get. Very difficult. 84 lakh species are there according to Padma Purana. 84 lakh species, creations according to the creation of Brahma. And out of which there are some categories which belong to the human, There is a category like 40,000 species belong to that human. Actually, the various variety of humans are there. So in that human, that human birth is it's very difficult to get. If you see a cat or dog, it just always looks for filling its stomach and then, eating, sleeping, mating and defending. But we are also doing the same thing in a more sophisticated way. So we have been given the 6th sense to think about who is the supreme reality and attain the supreme. Whereas if you see the cat or dog, or, they don't have that power to even think of who am I or who is God. So utilizing the human birth is very, very important. So that's where Mahadeva gives us the chance to engage in bhakti to him. So that's what who has entered, who has entered all the living entities, and who is present as the antaratma of all the living entities. And that's what here it says. And that Ishvara, Avyaya Ishvara, that imperishable Lord, is present as the Antaratma of all the living entities, including Brahma, Krishna or Vishnu, and Arjuna, everybody, etc. So that is Mahadeva and Mata Parashakti. So with that, I'll end here, and we'll be taking some more verses and connecting Shiva Gita and Ishvara Gita verses with Bhagavad Gita, and also looking at some of the objections raised by Shiva Dveshis, and also understanding how everything actually, the Tatparyam is Lord Shiva, the Tatparyam of Bhagavad Gita is Lord Shiva only. Om yadaksharapadabhrishtam matrahinam tu yadvavet tatsarvam kshamyatam deva parameshvara namostute visargabindu matrani padapadaksharaani cha nyunani cha tiriktani kshamasva parameshvara aparada sakasrani क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासो यमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व परमेश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वरी अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वर एतत् सर्वं श्री उमा महेश्वर परब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु ललिताम्बिके साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु श्रीमति गौरी समेत साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु श्रीमति गायत्री समेत साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा परातं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वम् एतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्दे श्री महादेव शंभो माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वर बान्धवा शिवभक्तांश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयम् सांब शिवाय नमः सांब शिवाय नमः सांब शिवाय नमः हर ओं तत्सत्।